Yes. Welcome back to the channel, Salon's Blog. A very good afternoon to you guys all out there, wherever you are on the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a beautiful hot afternoon here in Southeast Asia, Malaysia, to be precise. And hey, it is Chelsea match day. And anytime you see me in this bag, know that we are in to win. Chelsea, we are in the semi-finals of the Club World Cup. What are your expectations? This afternoon, we are here for the preview of that game. It is Chelsea Fluminense semi-finals. 2 games more for the Club World Cup to end. 2 games for Chelsea to leave the trophy. Oh yes. 90 minutes. And the trophy will be at the bridge. Do you believe that? I am expectant. And I know we can make it. We can get a trophy. You see, this squad, they are capable of doing anything. And so long as they are determined, ladies and gentlemen, I think, let me not even say I think, I'm positive. Tonight is Chelsea's night, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I want to say this. Before I go to the preview proper, see these 3 guys up front there. Nicola Jackson, Joao Pedro and Delap. Nicola Jackson, 24-year-old. Joao Pedro, 23 years old. And Liam Delap, 22. Those are our strikers right now we have in Chelsea. Those are our strikers we have right now. Chelsea have a very strong attacking 3, no doubt. All these 3, for me, they are on par. They are not weak and they are not the highest or the top notch, but they are strong enough to get us the goals that we need. Either of these 3. And so before I go into my preview, I don't care which one of them is going to be chosen by the coach, but I have my preference. Most of you guys on this channel, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, why am I saying this? Before I go into the preview, I want to you to have an open mind about tonight's game. It's going to go Chelsea's way. We're going to be winning. But have an open mind about the selection, because we have a lot of players right now available for selection. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you get my point clearly. All right. And let me remind you guys, many clubs, including Liverpool, are starting their pre-season today. Yes, Liverpool are starting pre-season training for the 2025-2026 season today, and we are still at the Club World Cup. Well, the day Liverpool are starting a preseason game, the same day we are playing in the semi-finals of the Club World Cup. Which one is better? For me, these games should equally serve as our preseason. I don't think our coach should have any much more problem. When we finish the Club World Cup, the players will be given 2 weeks break to refresh themselves and come back 1 week preseason and the league starts. I'm okay with that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very much okay with that. Now, Maresca speaking about these 3 players, he said Joao Pedro, Joao Pedro can play in all attacking positions. The difference with Nico is that I see him as just number 9. But with Joao, I see him in other positions. When I heard this, many have read a lot of meanings into this. But my conclusion of the fact is that Jackson will always be, at least for now, Enzo Maresca's number 9. Yeah. Jackson will always be Enzo Maresca's number 9 at this moment. Joao Pedro, that we just signed, could play in the flanks, or 10 even. But I see Jackson as Chelsea's number 9, at least for now. The main number 9 for now. Alongside, let me just add, Delap. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, now let's move on. You see, Club World Cup semi-finals is not going to come easy. Tonight, we are facing an opponent from Brazil, which has a lot of matured and old players. including one of our own, Thiago Silva, as a captain of the side. But let me quickly tell you this. You see, Fluminense from Brazil have one of the oldest squad in this tournament, if not the oldest team. Their goalkeeper is 44 years old. Fluminense goalkeeper is 44 years old. They have a striker that is 37 years old. A right back, which is 35 years old. And you know who else? Thiago Silva, which is 40 years old. Our oldest player, Chelsea's oldest player in the squad at the Club World Cup is Uncle Tosin. Tosin Adebayo, 27. That is Chelsea's oldest player. Come to think of it, Fluminense's oldest player could give birth to our oldest player, Tosin. You don't get me right. Fluminense's oldest player, that's a goalkeeper, 44 years, could give birth to Chelsea's oldest player, which is 27. Ladies and gentlemen, now let me go to the preview. And quickly before then, George Petrovic is set to join AFC Bournemouth. The Cherries have reached an agreement with Chelsea FC. The goalkeeper and Bournemouth have also come to terms. Details plus formalities still need to be finalized, and the medical is still pending. So it looks like George Petrovic, instead of going to the other team I mentioned the other day, I think Bournemouth are almost at the verge of signing Chelsea goalkeeper George Petrovic on a permanent. Now, can we get to the preview proper? Fluminense versus Chelsea tonight. Where I am is going to be 3 a.m. In the US, 3 p.m. In Africa, 8 p.m. In UK, 8 p.m. Wherever you are. Fluminense versus Chelsea, FIFA Club World Cup semi-final clash fixture. Injury news, match preview, and my predicted lineup. Are we ready? In the next 4 minutes, I'll be out of this place. Yes, breaking down the FIFA Club World Cup semi-final showdown between Chelsea and Fluminense coming up in the next few seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, all right, let's just go. Chelsea faces a formidable challenge as they take on Brazilian side Fluminense in the FIFA Club World Cup semi-finals, MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tonight, 8th of July, 2025. The Blues, coming off a hard 4-1 victory over Palmeiras in the quarterfinals, will need to bring their A game on. Chelsea will need to turn on their A game to secure a spot in the final against either Paris Saint-Germain or Paris Saint-Germain from Germany. From PSG, right? From France, Paris Saint-Germain from France, or Real Madrid. Yes, either of these two. Chelsea have to be ready to face either PSG or Real Madrid. Either of these two could be the next opponent. Ladies and gentlemen, Fluminense unbeaten in the tournament so far. The only club unbeaten in a tournament so far, and led by former Chelsea legend Thiago Silva, are no strangers to causing an upset. Having knocked out Inter Milan and Al Hilal en route to the semi-finals. Ladies and gentlemen, Fluminense team news. Fluminense managed by Renato Gaucho are in a fine form. They are indeed in a fine form. Yes. Fluminense managed by Renato Gaucho are in fine form, having an 11-match unbeaten streak across all competitions. 11-match unbeaten streak across all competitions. They are the team Chelsea is about to face tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, now quickly, Chelsea team news. Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca faces a selection challenge, just as I do. With key players, Liam Delap and Levi Colwill suspended after receiving their second yellow cards in the quarterfinals. Ladies and gentlemen, against Palmeiras, Romeo Lavia is also sidelined due to injury and will not be available for the match. However, new signing João Pedro, who made his Chelsea debut off the bench against Palmeiras, could be in line tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Maresca is in a tough position right now. But then, my predicted lineup, and I'll let you go, because the game coming up is going to be hot, and I expect Chelsea to go through. Chelsea predicted lineup. I will expect Chelsea to go 4-2-3 formation with Sanchez in goal post, Reece James, Chalobah, Tosin, and Cucurella in defense. Enzo Fernandez, Moise Caicedo, Pedro Neto, Cole Palmer, João Pedro, and Nicolas Jackson heading the attack. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my first 11. That is my first 11. Sanchez, goalkeeper. Reece James, Chalobah, Tosin, Cucurella, defenders. Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo. Yes, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Pedro Neto. João Pedro. Cole Palmer. Then Pedro Neto heading the attack should be mine, Nicolas Jackson. That's 11. Anyhow, I expect João Pedro to start alongside Jackson in tonight's game. Ladies and gentlemen, what does he want to know? I am confident this squad, this team can win the game tonight against Fluminense in the span of 90 minutes. What do you think? Let me hear from you in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next one when you see me. Shalom and peace.